Welcome back to the Sound for More channel and welcome back to another demonstration and tutorial. Today I have the pleasure to introduce you to Crumar Spirit from Cherry Audio. Before I continue, I would like to remind my viewers to subscribe as it helps with growing the channel. Thank you very much. Additionally, if you would like to support what I do, please do check the instruction again contained in each video description. Thank you again. So, well, I don't say this often, but this is really a fantastic synth. Of course, from Cherry Audio, so fantastic reproduction, emulation of iconic legend synth like this one from Crumar, the Spirit synth. It's really great. It's one of those synths where it takes a little bit of time, of course, to learn how to use it, and it has some unique concepts like dual paths, but when you learned, you actually can create some very unique effects, atmospheric sounds, anything really, basses, really dramatic, also leads as well. So the more you tweak parameters, the better it sounds. It comes, as always, with some additional things in terms of not only reproducing quite accurately the original synth, but also adding to it in terms of polyphony, in terms of lots of different effects that you see here at the buttons, like distortion, flanger and chorus, echo and reverb. I'm really truly amazed by the sound that it generates. It's really nice. Absolutely great. I have already configured some favorites. Why not? Because I played a lot with the internal presets. There are hundreds, so you're going to really not be disappointed. You are really going to enjoy. And yes, there is an arpeggiator, as you can see here, but without an arpeggiator, you can create some fantastic sound anyway, some great movement. For example, this one which you just heard, the arpeggiator here is off. You can see where it is highlighted here. It is with an empty circle. It is off, but when you listen to it, so, and you don't have an echo effect on. You have a little bit of reverb, which you can turn it off. And the reason that it can create that is because you have a lot of different type of modulation option. Here you have a Mod X modulation, which you can act from the modulation wheeler here. You have a shaper one as well, which allows you to control more the second signal, which you can find here with this green color, while the original one, or the first one, is designated with the red color. And then you also have a matrix Z here, where you can, of course, select sources and here destination as well. Look how many destinations you have. It's truly amazing. It has typical controls up here. You can see in terms of master volume, you have a limiter as well, some tuning, panning, but then you have this fantastic type of features when it comes actually to get it to work in poly, cycle, or multi as well. And you can also establish between, when it goes into cycle of notes, you can establish if you want them to change the pitch, pan, filter, etc., right? So truly amazing. Let's try over a little bit of a bass and also over a little bit of a drum track. The bass is also playing with the same synth. So as you can hear, really, really great sound, really, really unique. Remember, you always have the oversampling quality. I set it to max, works really well on my Mac M1 chip. So you have even better chip nowadays than the M1. So, but even with an M1, it works really, really nicely. Keyboard here as well, which you can switch between the keyboard view and also the effect view. Look, the fantastic effects that you have, really studio quality. And you can see with all the different parameters, really like the reverb. You can choose the galactic effect, which is really great. And also more importantly, you can change the effect based on the signal path, the red one and the green path as well. Let's create a new sound. Like so, we click on new, right? By the way, click here, you can see how many type of preset that you have available, so you are going to enjoy. As you can see, at the moment you start in cycle, but you can put it also in multi, you can put it also in poly. That is how it sounds. Important part is here, this audio mixer. Right, at the moment you have oscillator A and B in terms of, you can hear that is the volume intensity, right? And we are on the red path. You also have this green path as well. So this red path, of course, allows you to go into a filter, allows you to also go into an ADSR. So you can see here you have two oscillators. You can change the type of waveform. Nice to see different type of pulse width as well. You can change the octave here. You can do hard sync as well. You can turn it on and off here as well. Of course, pay attention and the volume here you have in the audio mixer. Of course, if you have all of those down to zero, when you press keys here, you can hear nothing. So let's start with the oscillator A. You can introduce oscillator B as well, okay, like so. Again, here you have selection of different waveforms. Notice also that the pulse width is different from the first oscillator, which is a nice touch. Again, you can change the octave and also you can detune between the two, which is really great. Okay, and of course you can double click and then insert also value if you want to have precise measurement. You can also see these bass and wide drone effect, which is great in terms of that type of effect. It's not quite a drone, but certainly it stops receiving the pitch difference in terms of frequency, so remember that. Hard sync. Here you have two filters, an upper filter and a lower filter as well. There are some controls which are in common, so something to remember, where you have these master for cutoff and these refinement as well. Okay, and when you put them like so, you can get them in octave here. You can, on number 8, you can get them in sync as well. And you can set it to have the low one or variable as well. You can change the slope, the keyboard amount in terms of tracking, which is great. And then here you can adjust the resonance for both of them. And you can also change the type of filter you have here on the lower one. And of course, you can change the lower one, for example, to a high pass. And you can also block the tracking so that you hear only one filter with tracking or having dynamic mode as well. And then, of course, you have a filter envelope. Always check here the master volume in case it's speaking. You have a limiter, remember here. You can change the how it triggers singularly or multiple, okay, which is great in terms of envelope. You can change, of course, the loudness as well, envelope. Use your ADSR with control for the velocity as well as the last slider. But what I really like is you can start to do the modulation as well, which is great. But before we go into that, let's activate the second path. Let's start with that oscillator A, and this is controlled by the shaper here. You can change the shape here. The running mode as well, so you can have it continuous as well. In this one, it goes in free mode. You can also set here on reset and have loop on, so without loop. And then it loops. Here you can change the rate as well. Here you can set it to go into a destination, like for example the filter, and then you can act here on the shaper one. And depending, of course, on your preferred configuration, right? So it's so good that you have so many different options. It's quite amazing. It can get quite complicated as well in terms of creating your sound, but that is the beauty of it. Let's bring in the previous signal. And I still don't have the arpeggiator on, right? And of course, I can change effects based on the two signals. Let's start with the red one. Let's add some reverb. I can even add additional echo. I can sync it. So you can hear different effects already. Let's run it here. And of course I can change the effect on the second path, the green one as well. I could add another echo there. Or not. So you can hear the green path, which is the louder one. At the moment it doesn't have echo. I can add it in. I can also add additional modulation through the matrix the matrix Z here. You click on source 1, you can decide which source do you want. For example, your wheels or an oscillator or an envelope or the mod X, etc. Or anything regarding the signal, which by the way, you can also add noise here as well. And when you are selected one, of course, you can then change the destination here. Okay, which is great. So you can act, for example, as you prefer on a pitch or depending what you like. You can hear here that I'm acting on the mod X here, and I'm of course influencing the oscillator a pitch because I set it in positive way. In terms of intensity, it could be also negative as well. You can add some noise as well. So yeah, this is just really the start of it. You can create really amazing sound. Difficult to actually explain it all because it's truly amazing in terms of what sound it can create. Oh, sounds really great. Yeah, great. Of course, it doesn't have a smooth transition from one preset to the other, but that's not the end of the world. So sometimes you hear the sound cutting off when you change between presets, but that is really a small thing in my view because the synth is so good. Okay, well, these were just a taster, so I hope you enjoyed the short demonstration. I definitely recommend you have a look at it, buy it, is really fantastic. And I don't recommend many like so. Spent hours already in the last couple of days is really entertaining, and it helps you to actually create some very unique preset. Okay, bye.